Now with Coach Kamie Ethridge, here's your host, Steve Grubbs.
Well, thank you very much and a very pleasant good evening to you all. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour as we come to you live from Zeppo's, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Every good show deserves an encore, does it not? And here we are for the encore version of your Cougar Basketball Hour with Cougar head coach Kamie Ethridge, the postseason edition. And considering we kind of threw the show together in 48 hours, Kamie, again, another great crowd. And how about your team over the last couple of games, a couple of wins? Welcome back to Zeppo's and welcome back to another Cougar Basketball Hour.
Yeah, wow. Well, didn't expect this. Bill Stevens walked into the office, I guess on Friday or something, and said, let's do a show. And I was like, okay, so we have to win. And he's like, we're going to win. Let's do the show. And so really just appreciate IMG for doing this. And again, Zeppo's for having us. And what a great opportunity just to get our fans back together again. And again, be excited about this team and getting the opportunity to continue to play. We've had 2 extra games a week or so or 10 days or 15 days of practice and still get to continue to do that. So any days we can practice, any days we can play another game helps, our postseason, our next season, and years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, part of March Madness is here we are in late March and still playing Cougar women's basketball. Another 20-win season as the Cougars got their 20th win on Sunday. Second time in the NCAA era for Washington State to get to 20 wins. Of course, the last one last year and 2 big postseason victories. Again, our thanks to Learfield, our thanks to the 3 J's back on the production side of things. Johnny back in the studio, Johnny and Jared, and also Jerry, who've made their way here, and of course the fine folks here at Zeppo's as well. Coach, again, the WBIT, we were hoping for an NCAA tournament berth. It didn't happen, but you guys have embraced this challenge to continue the season and play in what is a prestigious tournament. It's the inaugural WBIT, and I know a lot of people have talked to me about it. I'm sure they've talked to you about it. What the heck is the WBIT? I always thought it was the NIT, the women's NIT. This is something that came out of COVID, and this tournament was built, and now this is the next rung right below the NCAA tournament, this WBIT, and it's an honor to play in the inaugural event.
Well, it does stem from, that COVID, when everybody probably has some recollection of Sedona Prince during the COVID, taking a picture of a weight rack at the women's tournament and compared it to the men's tournament that had a full-on gym for their weight room. And it led to just a backlash of, what are you doing for NCAA? You're sponsoring these tournaments. Why are you doing this kind of thing for women and this kind of thing for men? And it led to something called the White Papers, which was just an investigation into how do you treat the men's again, because it's so apples to apples. It's the exact same tournament run by the exact same group. How do you treat them? It led to some very distinct differences, and you've got to fix this. And one of those things was the men had a NIT that was run by the NCAA, was that group of this tournament. It's basically the WBIT.
Right.
The men already had that going with the NCAA. They were running it. The women were having to be an outside sourced private company, the WNIT, which thank God we had them that were willing to. Teams had to sponsor it. Teams had to bid for it. Teams had to give money for it to have it. And now it's really run by the NCAA, and that allows us, because we were the number 1 seed in the tournament, to host these first 3 rounds and to run it more based on your body of work for the entire year. And so, again, just all the things that we hated about COVID, there have been some amazing results from what happened, and just appreciate the NCAA taking a look at him, self-critical and self-awareness of we've got to fix some things. And this is, again, I look at it, and everyone has ever been in a WNIT, now the WBIT, if you win this thing, if you get 4 games, if you get 3 games, no one is ever walking away from this tournament saying, I wish we hadn't gone.
Absolutely.
It is such a benefit. It is such an eye-opening experience, excitement for the future. The fans can get behind it. You can build momentum for the next year. And, again, if we can play 3 games, which we're already guaranteed to 3, but if we can go 4 and 5, gosh, this bodes well for us, and it gets our young players really excited about the future of our basketball program.
32-team tournament as again the Cougars 2-0. They get the opportunity as the top seed in their bracket to host a third consecutive game. That will come up on Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Want to see everybody out at Beasley Coliseum as they get ready to host Toledo. We'll talk a little bit more about Toledo coming up, but 2 wins at home. Again, as the top seed, you got the benefit of playing at home, but you took advantage of those opportunities. I look at these scores, and again, we win by 20 over Lamar. We win by 26 over Santa Clara. Neither one of those felt like a 20 to 26-point game, but you guys poured it on in the fourth quarter. Just how well do you think you guys have played so far in this tournament to get to this stage, which is now the final 8 teams remaining and into the quarterfinals?
Well, I just think the game is it's getting to that point where you just have to, we call it treading water sometimes. You just have to tread water for a little bit until you kind of can break away and figure some things out. And this last game, I just felt like we played better and better defensively, and clearly held them under their average and didn't let them do what some of the things they wanted to do. And by the end, we just kind of cut loose and had some great offensive performances by a lot of different players, a lot coming off our bench in particular. So if we can get that kind of performance off our bench, and that kind of confidence and that kind of depth, we can play with anybody in the rest of this tournament. So really excited about how we're playing, excited about the youth of our program, and again, love that our seniors can keep padding those wins for
Absolutely.
Their 4-year or 5-year career, because again, they're making roads that no one's ever done in their career. So there's a lot to play for, a lot of pride, and I think as we've gone along in this tournament, our team has really just bought into this is awesome, and it really is an awesome thing, and it probably stems from our fans and the support we're getting and the excitement of starting to play well, playing better, playing to our potential, and knowing that we have, I think we still have a ways to go as far as being able to play even better than we have been.
No doubt about it. Again, this has been so fun all season long. I've had so many compliments of what we've been able to do with this show, and happy to do this postseason edition. Again, thanks to everybody for making this happen. We're just dipping our toes in the water. We'll talk to Kamie a little bit more about the 2 wins. We've got 2 guests tonight. Jenna Villa, speaking of the bench, and Kira Gardner, 2 of the youngsters on this team. They're going to come up and join us. You got a chance to ask questions.
Okay.
Anybody that has questions for either the coach or the players, you can come up and write those down. We'll talk a little bit about Toledo. We'll do it all over the course of the next hour. We're just getting things started. Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppo is the postseason edition, and we're back after this from Learfield.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 50 daily departures to 18 nonstop destinations provided by 6 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
The tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Pac-12 Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/Pac-12 Sports.
Whitman Hospital and Medical Clinics welcomes orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Brannon with more than 26 years of experience in orthopedics, specializing in arthritic diseases and joint preservation.
I'm committed to building relationships with my patients by listening, with the goal of helping people keep the joints they were born with.
Dr. Brannon welcomes new patients at Whitman Specialty Clinic in Colfax. Call 509-397-9005. We know it matters. You know us.
There's so much to do and see here at Washington State University Pullman, and we at the Braulsford WSU Visitor Center are here.
And just so you know, that wasn't on your end. I don't know why that spot is echoing, but I'm going to fix it at some point here.
Or where to catch a stunning view of the Palouse. We'll show you where to park, how to get to your destination, connect you to on-campus resources. So for a better visitor experience, start right here at the Braulsford WSU Visitor Center on the corner of Main and Spring Streets near downtown Pullman.
Well, we do welcome you back here to Zeppo's. Again, Cougar Basketball Hour. Steve Grubbs with you. Also, Cougar Basketball head coach Kamie Ethridge is again. The Cougars picked up their 20th win of the season yesterday afternoon in Pullman with a 73-47 victory over Santa Clara, and a chance now to visit with the Cougar head coach about these two games. Again, a couple of wins over both Lamar University and Santa Clara, and coach, an opening win in the tournament against Lamar, a team that can bring some pressure. We got off to a great start in this game, jumped out to a 21-8 lead, and then their pressure bothered us a little bit. We turned the ball over a little bit too much, and it came close, but then you guys were able to finish strong with that fourth quarter and pull out a 20-point victory over Lamar on Thursday night.
Well, I even thought it was really just the first 5 minutes of the third quarter that we really struggled and didn't establish ourselves, and really made an emphasis on that going into the next game. In fact, the only film that we watched on Lamar was the second half, the first 5 minutes of that second half. And that was after having 9 or 10 turnovers in the first half, because I do think being off 15 days, you're not going to handle the ball. Right. It's going to be a little tricky, and you're not going to be running on, just super smooth. So didn't like that. Didn't like some of the things that happened in the second quarter and some of the fumble fingers that we had. But it was really more, we were rested, we came out of half, and we made bad energy, bad effort plays in that first 5 minutes and let them kind of dictate. And so, those are, you can't be bad on the offensive end, missing shots, which a lot of times you can't control, and then give bad effort on the defensive end. You can't have those back-to-back for 4 or 5 minutes. Those are the things we have control over that. And so, again, I think we've probably had moments of that all season long, and it was just a great indication that we could plug in that 5 minutes and show that we can't have this happen again. So I thought we had a much better effort for 40 minutes against Santa Clara, got better and better defensively, and you know how it is. Offense comes and goes. You don't always make shots, but just have to establish yourself defensively, and I thought we did a great job to respond the right way against Santa Clara and get a little bit better in that area. Yeah, and I think in the Lamar game, too, I think that once we jumped out to that lead and we're up 13 in the first quarter, whenever they got close, whenever they got within a couple possessions, we were able to find that big shot. And we actually shot pretty well from beyond the arc. Tara Wallach had 3 big threes in the fourth quarter when we poured it on at the end. Kira Gardner, again, we'll talk to Kira coming up here in just a little bit, had a big second quarter for us. I think she was part of 8 points out of a 10-2 run. Whenever they seemed to be creeping close to make it a 1 or 2 possession game, we had an answer, and it was usually from behind the 3-point line. I continue to think, offense and making some threes makes everybody feel better about themselves, and clearly had big responses from a lot of players in Lamar and Santa Clara. Real consistent play from B in rebounding and defensively. Obviously, when you can get Tara knocking down threes, when you can have timely threes from AT and Jenna coming off the bench and Kira coming off the bench. I mean, that just, again, I think the response to droughts is huge on basketball teams. You can watch it right now. Syracuse was down, and all of a sudden Connecticut makes a couple of shots from big-time players, and they stretch it back out. I mean, it happens all the time, and you've got to have those big-time players that are willing to step up in those moments and make big shots. Meanwhile, in the matchup against Santa Clara, again, a lead, and you guys were able to expand it, and then a huge fourth quarter from your group. You end up scoring 30 points in that fourth quarter, but it wasn't all about the fourth quarter. You guys, again, you got good on the glass. Beyonce B, as you mentioned her just a moment ago, 2 double-digit rebounding performances for you. She was a monster on the glass in both of these games. You guys were also pretty good when it came to defensively in both these games, holding Lamar to just 46 points, Santa Clara to just 47 points. So when you're able to do that, that gives you a chance to win any game that you play in. And defensively and rebounding are 2 things that you guys brought the first 2 games of this tournament. Right. And I think all of us, I mean, I've talked to a couple of tables here, and they're just talking about the fourth quarter. Could we just bottle up 30-point quarters and make that a regular thing, right? Right. We're begging our team for 20-point quarters, and then when you bust out for a 30-point. But again, I think it's confidence. It's feeling good about yourself. It's moving the ball. It's being confident in our system and trusting our system. And clearly, again, I mean, the ball is funny. It's not always going to go in. So, and that's what we've talked to most of our team about, is that we've got to depend on physicality, because anyone playing right now left in the tournament, they're physical. They screen hard, they rebound hard, they run the floor hard, they make hard cuts, they use screens well. They're just unafraid of getting hit in any situation. And that's not always been our strong point, but we want to engage in those battles. So defensively, we need to be tough and be able to be versatile. And the beauty of our league is it's really prepared us for whoever we're playing. You know, Lamar's quick, athletic. They try to speed you up. Well, guess what? We've played that, except everybody else is bigger, stronger, faster than Lamar is. And so we can adjust to Lamar. Interesting, you know, Santa Clara has 4s and 5s, you know, big kids that can shoot the 3. Well, guess what? We've played that because Peely does it against Utah and Jenna Johnson does. So there's times to adjust to that. So that's why I think we can go into this tournament, you know, if you don't have very many days to scout, you can be prepared because we're somewhat versatile and we've seen it all by now. And then it becomes just who's hungry, who's intense, who wants to win, and who's going to compete the hardest in those moments.
You mentioned that the opportunity to play in this tournament, so great for the seniors, so great for this group as we continue to build resumes, but also so great for the future too. And how about in the first 2 games of the tournament, your bench has outscored your opponents 47-22.
Wow.
Again, we're going to talk to a couple of your bench players coming up here. But what about Alex Colville, Jenna Villa, Kira Gardner, Jessica Clark, 2 of them getting in double digits in the last game against Santa Clara, with both Kira and Jessica Clark getting to double digits?
Well, just have so much confidence in that group. And, you know, 15 to 20 minutes, if we can get those guys into those minutes and not to, we don't want them to feel pressure like they have to fix things, they have to be things, but we want them to walk into those games and just be so confident in doing what they do best. And Jenna Villa is a great shooter. I don't ever want her to pass up a shot, whether she's making them or missing them. I want her to shoot shots. You know, everybody's kind of got to defend and got to stay true to our scout, but just love the offensive punch we can bring off the bench. And really, you know, Jenna brings us something that no one else on our team does. Kira Gardner is, you know, in talk about someone who can create a shot for herself. I mean, she's explosive. She can get to the rim. She can shoot pull-ups. Obviously, she can shoot the 3. So, and Jessica Clark, I mean, she's a bucket waiting to happen if she gets a chance to shoot it, you know? I mean, she really is. And Alex is just a game changer on both ends of the floor. So all of those guys, we have so much confidence in what they can bring. You know, the one thing that probably as a group those guys don't bring is just tremendous ball handling. And that's the one thing I think since Charlie's left, we can't really, you got to have ball handling every single time up the floor. And it's a little bit of a stretch to make those guys be playmakers with the ball in their hands. That's why I think you see AT on the floor all the time, or LA in particular. But again, areas, there's nothing else those guys can't do, and they can do a little bit of that too. So just got to have a lot of versatility, got to have kids walking off the floor, walking into games, wanting the ball in their hands and wanting to be an impact players. And I'm telling them right now, 2 of them are here. They better be thinking that when they walk into the game. And clearly, we always need them to be good defensively. They'll hear about that in practice. But today, in front of you guys, I'm talking about offense, and we love that offensive output that those guys can bring to the floor every time they step on the court.
20-point win over Lamar, 26-point win over Santa Clara, a 20-win season, and now a trip to the WBIT quarterfinals Thursday night against Toledo.
At home.
At home, right here at Beasley Coliseum in Pullman. She brings up a good point. At home, you can come on out and watch them. 6 o'clock on Thursday night. We'll have more with the coach coming up. We've also got a couple of players coming up, so we'll let you go visit with the crowd and visit with a couple of players. We're just, again, just getting things started here. Got another 40 minutes or so to go. The Cougar Basketball Hour, live from Zeppo's from Learfield.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
When you're out driving around the Palouse, be sure to stop by Tick Clock Drug in Colfax. Family owned and operated. And for all your printing needs, be sure Cougar Graphics is the place to call. When it comes to paper, Cougar Graphics can print it. Tick Clock Drug and Cougar Graphics on Main Street in Colfax.
Close, convenient, connected. The Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport and Alaska Air get you where you want to go. And with Alaska's One World Alliance, that's just about anywhere. With multiple flights to Seattle most days, plus one to Boise, that's another reason to use PUW to get you home. By the time you're winding your way through Washtenaw on 26 or Winchester on 95, you'll be in Seattle or Boise. Save on gas, higher parking fees, and your time. Fly PUW, the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport, your Cougar and Alaska hometown airport.
Well, Steve Grubbs, welcome back. It is the Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppo's as we will get one of the two Cougar players up here. As again, we are happy to have you with us. The Encore edition here in 2024 as we have the postseason edition, and Jenna Villa is going to be the first one to join us, a freshman from Arlington, Washington, as we'll get the headphones on her and talk about a couple of postseason wins. First of all, Jenna, great to have you with us. How does it feel to have a couple of postseason wins in the bank and getting ready to play again at Beasley Coliseum coming up on Thursday?
It's great. It's an honor. Just to still be playing in March. A lot of teams don't have that. They had to go home, and so it's different being at home for us, obviously, but it's an honor to just still be playing in March.
You, of course, had such a fantastic high school career, one of the most touted freshmen to come into Washington State and Gatorade Player of the Year. Am I right on that when it comes to the state of Washington? Absolutely. And what you were able to do in high school and just take us back to where you kind of got your basketball was you were getting to get things started in your career, where that kind of came from. Did you have a big influence in your life when it came to the sport of basketball?
My dad really got me started in playing, but also my AAU coach, Mo Hines, from Tree of Hope, has had a really big influence on me and has taught me almost everything. And also my trainer, Kira Gardner from home also. Just got me to be the shooter that I am today. Now,
you are a sharp shooter. There's no doubt about that. You're what Kamie likes to refer to in her scouting report as a sniper. When you go into a game and you're coming off the bench, what is kind of your mindset as you come in off the bench and get ready to go to work against either a Pac-12 opponent or here in the postseason?
Just be confident. Let it fly when I'm open. Also, don't try to do too much. Just do what my team needs me to do and play solid defense.
What's it been like jumping from high school to Division I and playing in one of the best conferences in all of the country, and now finding yourself playing again, as we mentioned here, the final week of March? Again, you mentioned a lot of teams going home at this stage. We're still playing, and we're going to play again on Thursday night. To go from high school and now to play at this level, what's that transition been like for you?
It's a lot different. High school is it's been a huge step up. I think playing in the EYBL has really prepared me for this. Mm-hmm. But, definitely high school is nowhere close to the same, speed, the strength of my opponents, the level of just knowledge of a lot of the teams that I've played with their, just being older and more experienced.
What's that AAU experience like? EYBL, is that what you said?
Yep.
And then talk a little bit about that and what that experience was like for you to get you ready for the stage that this is.
Yeah, a lot of people that played in the EYBL are like people that I'm playing now. They just get a lot of experience playing against the best of the best in high school. So, I mean, it's definitely just a great experience for anyone that has played.
What's it been like to join this team? I mean, you've got a few seniors on this team, some upperclassmen, you've got a few other people. What's it been like to join this team that's got a nice little mix of veterans but also some younger players too?
It's been really nice just playing under the seniors. They really took us under their wing, teaching us plays when we didn't really know them in the summer. But yeah, I think just having that mix has been really nice.
Also have a question here from the crowd. I heard you moved before your senior year of high school. Is there anything special about your new house?
Yeah. So right before my senior year, we moved into a house that has an indoor basketball court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's got to be nice for some practice time.
Yeah, it's been really great. My trainer, Kira, works in our gym, so I just get to train whenever I want and shoot on our gun at home, our shooting machine. So, yeah.
So when you become as good as you are, you're telling me practice helps? Yeah, okay. I figured that much of it.
Yeah.
That was a joke. Not a very good joke, but nonetheless a joke. Again, Jenna Villa here with us, freshman from Arlington, Washington, as you got 2 wins over Lamar and Santa Clara. You got one more game at Beasley Coliseum. We know when we go to Indianapolis. This is the final game at Beasley Coliseum. What's it been like to play at Beasley this season and to know you get one more opportunity to play in front of the home fans here?
It's just a great atmosphere. It feels so nice after a win, waving to the crowd, everyone. Yeah. Seeing my family here is awesome too after every game in Beasley. I love that they're able to come when we play at home.
Well, for you, I have one last question for you, and it's this. Do you have any, are you a singer? Are you a dancer? Do you do any of the social media? Do you have any hidden talents outside of being one of the best three-point shooters that I've seen?
Not much of a dancer.
Okay.
Not really into the social media thing. But, I mean, seeing some garage band at Coach E's house.
Uh-huh. I don't know what you said, but you said something.
I have a few. Tongue-Tied is one of them.
Tongue-Tied?
Brown-Eyed Girl.
Oh, Brown-Eyed Girl. Okay.
And Still Into You by Paramore.
Okay. Those are good. Yeah. I like those. I also understand you're pretty good in the classroom as well. What do you want to do as far as your degree is concerned? And you're quite the academic. I know that you're a pretty good student when it comes to the student-athlete side of things as well.
Well, I just got accepted into my major for kinesiology, so that's pretty
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, but after I graduate, I want to go to dental school.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Again, Jenna Villa, I want to thank her for joining us. We'll welcome up Kira Gardner in just a bit. Jenna, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Again, it's the Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppo's. Great to be with you from Learfield.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog, because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain Cold Refreshment made to chill.
2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
It's college football's latest tradition. It's fierce, glorious, and ridiculously delicious. It's the Nom Nom Snack Bowl Flyaway. Just download the Nom Nom app to enter the competition. Play all season long to score free snacks and tasty tailgate treats. One lucky champion will win a free trip for 2 to the Pac-12 championship game in Las Vegas, Nevada. Go Cougs! Ready for a snack down? Download the Nom Nom app to find out. Nom Nom. Life in the snack lane.
Whether you're looking to get away or you're ready to find your way back home, the best way to travel is with Alaska Airlines and the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport. When you fly PUW, you're on an Embraer 175 jet with economy, first class, and premium seating. Multiple flights most days to Seattle and one direct to Boise. And with a new runway and instrument approach, PUW and Alaska Air get you there reliably. Use alaskaair.com and PUW, the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport. Close, convenient, and connected.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at PullmanRegional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
Well, we welcome you back. Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppo's. Again, Steve Grubbs with us. Also, Kira Gardner. We just got done talking to Jenna Villa. Coach E, she'll be back with us as well. Kira with us, sophomore out of Raymond, Washington. Kira, first of all, thank you for joining us. How about this crowd here at Zeppo's tonight?
Oh, it's amazing.
I mean, we get ready for what is going to be a third-round matchup against the Toledo team. Again, a couple of big wins over Lamar and Santa Clara. And you had a couple of really good games off the bench against both teams, hitting a couple of threes, I thought, during a really crucial time stretch against Lamar, and then double digits against Santa Clara. Just talk about the way you think you've played over the last couple of games.
I think I put a good amount of trying to have the team trust and working towards what I can do. So I feel like I put a good enough momentum into it.
Well, I mean, I think that you're kind of a bundle of energy, which I love when you come out on the court, and I love the fact that sometimes you hunt your own shot. You were a big-time scorer at Raymond High School when you were playing 2B basketball. And so as you get ready to go out on the court, is that something you're thinking about? Is I know I can score. Now I need to go and hunt my shot and make sure that I shoot, kind of like Kamie was talking about. She wants you guys to do that off of the bench.
I think it's a little different from playing high school and back home. There wasn't a lot of opportunities back home, and you kind of had to do it all with not a lot of talent being in town. But I try to not work on focusing on just my shot. I try to focus on everything else on the court too, slow everything down, work on my role on the team.
I mean, I think one thing, speaking of that, I think you've gotten better and better as the season has gone along defensively. Is that something that you've prided yourself on and working on here in your second season at Washington State, not only being a scorer, but knowing that there is two sides of the court and that your defense maybe needed to improve just a little bit?
Oh, definitely. That's been one of my main focuses coming into my sophomore year.
What was it like, again, Raymond, we got a lot of small towns. I'm from Colfax, actually. That was a 2B school as well. So, I mean, we know all about the small town schools. What was it like playing at Raymond? Because you obviously had a lot of success, set a lot of records there. I think, what was it, 1,000 points, 2,000 points in your career. Another Gatorade High School Player of the Year, by the way, and Kira Gardner here from Raymond High School. What was it like playing for a small school to now playing Division I basketball at Washington State University?
It's definitely an eye-opener. Going from really small to really big, it's a little crazy. It's shocking, but it's a lot of fun. You see how much you can grow as a person and as a player from having very little to having a lot.
To the stage of what is college basketball. And now to see us in the quarterfinals of the WBIT, how about the way this team has come together for two big wins to get to this stage in the tournament and the way we played the last couple of games?
Oh, I love it. We're all playing as a family. We kind of focus on each other and add each other into what we can do.
What's this last couple of weeks been like for you guys, knowing that you guys know that the season's coming to a close, want to add another win, add another 2 wins, add another 3 wins if we can get there and get to Indianapolis and maybe win a WBIT championship, just to have this extra time not only with your teammates but with the seniors that are on this team and as you mentioned, the family that this team has become?
Yeah, we definitely just don't want it to end. We want to spend as much time together as possible.
Yeah. I mean, it has been a fantastic watch as you guys were able to take down Lamar, you were able to take down Santa Clara. I know, and I think I got the answer to this one, but we do have a question here. Did you play any other sports in high school? You were pretty big in track and field, were you not?
Yeah, went to state in high jump, triple jump, long jump. Freshman year, my 4x1. I'm actually state high jump champ freshman year, and I think it's my senior year.
Yeah.
Since COVID.
What do you remember the height that you cleared in either the freshman or senior year to win the state championship?
5'6", but my highest was 5'8".
5'8", that's pretty good. Did you have any other sports other than basketball? You got track and field, you got basketball. Is there any other sports that you were into that you either played or like to play on the side, either at high school or just on the side for fun?
I did volleyball and I did soccer. Soccer was definitely one of my favorites growing up, but then I got into basketball from my older sister.
And what was her influence in you to get into basketball?
She was just always playing, and I was always watching her. Looked up to her. I'd always want to play one-on-one with her, and she would beat me up, make me really mad, and that made me want to focus on it. So you got did you get a little revenge on your sister? Were you able to beat her up at any? Of course.
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
Of course.
All right. Do you take that out? Do you take that attitude when you're going against other opponents that we're playing that they want to beat me up? Now I want to beat you up too?
I try to, yeah.
Well, I think you do it very well. You had a couple of great games. Again, a win over Lamar, a win over Santa Clara. Let's get this thing going and get a big win over Toledo as well.
Let's go.
All right, Kira Gardner, I want to thank her for stopping by. We'll come back with the head coach, Kamie Ethridge, as we'll continue on. That's the Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppos, and it's from Learfield.
If a buried natural gas pipeline is leaking outside your home, you may see dead vegetation, hear a hissing noise, or smell it, because Avista adds a rotten egg scent that's easily detectable. If so, get far away and call 911 and Avista.
Okay.
Everything good on your end? You can assume yes.
Just want you to be safe.
A lot goes into Washington State athletes reaching peak performance for game day, including the right nutrition. At Wilbur Ellis, we know that healthy crop performance requires the same attention to nutrition as an athlete. That's
Johnny,
why we
this
use
is break 4 out of 6, is that right?
Crop productivity through nutrient efficiency. For 100 years.
Correct.
Thank you.
To grow healthier crops. That is the winning ag experience for Cougar Nation. Locally provided by Wilbur Ellis.
Whitman Hospital and Medical Clinics welcomes orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Brannon with more than 26 years of experience in orthopedics, specializing in arthritic diseases and joint preservation.
I'm committed to building relationships with my patients by listening, with a goal of helping people keep the joints they were born with.
Dr. Brannon welcomes new patients at Whitman Specialty Clinic in Colfax. Call 509-397-9005. We know movement matters. You know us.
Close, convenient, connected. The Pullman Moscow Regional Airport and Alaska Air get you where you want to go. And with Alaska's One World Alliance, that's just about anywhere. With multiple flights to Seattle most days, plus one to Boise, that's another reason to use PUW to get you home. By the time you're winding your way through Washtenaw on 26 or Winchester on 95, you'll be in Seattle or Boise. Save on gas, higher parking fees, and your time. Fly PUW, the Pullman Moscow Regional Airport, your Cougar and Alaska hometown airport.
Well, Stevie Rubs, welcome back live from Zeppos. It is your Cougar Basketball Hour, so happy to have you with us as we continue on here, taking you up until the top of the hour, and joining us again, the coach of Washington State University basketball as we get ready for a quarterfinal matchup. Again, Coach Kamie Ethridge joining us as we've got 8 teams left now here in the WBIT. The final team to get into the quarterfinals, Penn State, as they were able to knock off Belmont today, 74-66. So all of the top seeds outside of James Madison, who ended up filling in for a team in Miami. And you've got Illinois and Tulsa on the other half of the bracket. We'll worry about them if we make our way to Indianapolis and punch our ticket. We've got Toledo coming up. You got Villanova and St. Joe's, Penn State and Mississippi State. Coach, quality teams all throughout. And obviously, you get to the stage of this type of tournament, you're going to see nothing but quality teams. What can you tell us about Toledo? Obviously, you haven't had a lot of time. You knew, obviously, when we advanced it was going to be Toledo. Have you had a chance to watch any film on them? And can you give us just the littlest bit of a scout on Toledo as we get ready for Thursday night?
Well, first, I just want to comment on those two young ladies that just
please.
spoke. Yeah. And first off, I think it's funny how shy they are.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, they're both way more sassy than they come across.
Uh-huh.
And fiery.
I've seen it firsthand.
And stubborn. And think they're right most of the time. And then it's going to be fun to remember their little shyness, and then in 4 years when they come back to the radio show,
right.
We'll see what they're like in 4 years. But Jenna came into this institution with a what's it called, associate's degree. So she was already 2 years into her degree plan.
Yeah, she kind of played down the academic side of things. She's got it going on.
So she's well into her major, and let's hope she likes her major because she's already into it, and she's only a freshman.
Uh-huh.
And obviously Kira is a special athlete and talent, and again, sassy as she can be and stubborn as she can be, and I butt heads with her more than anyone on the court, but that's okay. She needs it. She needs it. But anyway, glad they're here, and obviously they're going to be our future, so we need them to get better and better as they go.
Just a quick side note, everybody loves the fact that you brought all of your players here to get a little bit from them. I mean, let's give a hand to all the players that have been here all season long so we can get to know them.
I feel like I'm really sad that y'all didn't get to experience Jess. I didn't bring Jess because she's hilarious, except I think she'd be shy up here too for a second.
Yeah.
But who knows? Let's she's awesome. But anyway, yes, I mean, I think the point of this tournament is it's teams that very much were on the bubble to get into the NCAA tournament. Some of us really thought we should have been there, and everybody's out to prove that we're good enough. Toledo is an example of a team that dominated their conference and then got upset in their conference tournament, and they only get one bid out of their conference, that automatic bid that goes into the tournament. That's how good they are. They win 24, 25, 26 games, lose at the wrong time, and then have to not go to the NCAA tournament. So I think Lori's doing the scout, so she knows much more about them. She said they have the last two MVPs of their league, and they're both still on the team. So someone was an MVP 2 years ago or a year ago, and she's still on the team, and someone else got it this year.
Right.
They're scrappy. They expect to win. They're tough. They're disciplined. They run a lot of Princeton action and run it really, really well. And they're used to winning games. They expect to win. They've come back from big deficits and won. Again, tough team. They're not going to be afraid of anything that we look like or feel like, and we've got to go earn the victory if we want to advance in this tournament.
And a coach that's been there, they're a well-coached team, too, is you, I think, know a little bit about their head coach.
Yeah, Tricia is amazing. She's just been there forever and has been so successful. Brian Blair, if you guys don't know that, but he's the AD there now, and he was an associate or an assistant AD here for a few years. Great guy. So little ties there. But Tricia has been the WBCA president. I mean, just she's about all the right things and has great respect in our game and influence in our game. But what she's doing at that institution and university and program, she's just solid and good. And she's a little bit like Florida Gulf Coast. Nobody ever wants to play them because they're just so disciplined and usually, undervalued. They're better than and again, that's just because of just don't play in a major program or a major conference, but they still dominate their conference and they beat a lot of great teams.
Do have a question here. Speaking of the two bench players that we brought up as a coach, knowing that all players want minutes, how do you keep the bench players motivated every game? And they brought up Jess. She's been so patient, and when she goes out there and excels, she's one of the crowd favorites, obviously, as a senior. How do you manage the minutes? And obviously, I'm sure practice, I'm sure scouting report has a lot to do with that, and then just your feel of the game as well. But to try and get the minutes, to know that you need the rest, to know that the starters need their minutes as well to stay in the groove. That's a balancing act on the sideline, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't have a good gauge of that. I just go by what I feel. Again, it's not a lack of confidence, but it is again, I think we're a little bit stretched in some areas. Bella brings something that Jess can't and Alex can't bring. Even though she might be volatile in some areas too. She might turn it over a little bit more, but she can bring some things, and then just the established upper class that have played a lot of minutes. You have a lot of confidence in them to be able to manage a game. So again, that starting group is just super, super solid, but it's to the point where, our people coming off the bench, they are really good offensive players. In particular. I mean, and I love that. I love bringing offense off the bench. And the point is if we're not getting what we need to get off of our starters or out of our starters, it needs to be automatic that we just get other people in the game and they need to get their chance to get their feet wet and into the game and into the mix. And again, sometimes they have to sit for an entire quarter before they go in. I think Kira didn't go in the whole third quarter and then goes in the fourth quarter and kind of gets just going. And you've got to, I think people coming off the bench just have to have that anticipation of, I don't know when I'm going, but I'm going to be ready when I go. And, again, everybody gets pretty much the same minutes in practice, the same expectation. We have this little, we give out ticks. We call them ticks. Like if you don't have a stick hand or if you don't do something defensively or if you don't rebound, or if you don't box out, it's just like, and when you get 3 of them, you got to go to the bike and do this horrible bike thing for 45 seconds. And Kira broke the record yesterday or 2 days ago where she got 3 in one possession. I was like, Kira, no stick in. Kira, no box out. Kira, you quit on the play. Go to the bike. And, I mean, she just ducks her shoulders and she walks over there and she's pouting all the way over there. And then she gets over it and she comes back and it's like, hurry up, get back over here, get back in the thing. And all of that's just like attention to detail and like be on it and be sharp. And when you step on the court, you got to be ready. And you got to, if it is a box out, it is a stick hand, it is the discipline that it takes to be good on both sides of the floor. It is attention to detail, and it is, the reality is teams that are still in it, their players are unbelievably serious about every play on the court that's going on. And you can't, be in la-la land because you're not thinking about something in any given moment. So we're just trying to, raise the standard, keep the standard high, have great expectation on everybody on the court. It doesn't matter who you are, you're going to get the ticks and you're going to go to the bike. It's up to you to not get those. And so, again, just love that we've got to get everybody, on point. And I really do think our defense has gotten better. I think we've made a turn to be a little bit better defensive team since the tournament, the Pac-12 tournament. And, again, if we're better on that end of the floor, I just think it just translates into better offense. And that's what I think we're seeing as we advance in this tournament.
Cougar Basketball Hour here from Zeppos with Kamie Ethridge. We'll be back and we'll have more right here. Again, live from Zeppos. It's the Cougar Basketball Hour from Lairfield.
Hey, Coug fans, Tuesdays at Northern Quest are now officially Tuesdays with a capital 2. Together with Coors Light, we're doubling up the fun for Campus Rewards members every Tuesday with 2 times the points, $2 Coors Lights, double promotion entries, $2 food specials, and too many more resort-wide deals to list here. So grab your Campus Rewards card and tackle your Tuesdays with Tuesdays, only at Northern Quest. Details at northernquest.com.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through! Yeah.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
Whether you're looking to get away or you're ready to find your way back home, the best way to travel is with Alaska Airlines and the Pullman Moscow Regional Airport. When you fly PUW, you're on an Embraer 175 jet with economy, first class, and premium seating. Multiple flights most days to Seattle and one direct to Boise. And with a new runway and instrument approach, PUW and Alaska Air get you there reliably. Use alaskaair.com and PUW, the Pullman Moscow Regional Airport. Close, convenient, and connected.
At Washington State University Pullman, there's always a lot happening, and many activities are open to the community. It can be tough to know what's going on, where it's happening, and where you can park. But all of us at the Brailsford WSU Visitor Center love to help people find the answers. We keep a list of events, and I'll let you in on a secret. There's plenty of public parking on campus. You just need to know where to look. There's a new campus parking map to make it even easier. And if you need a temporary permit, we can help you with that too. We are here to connect community and campus at the Brailsford WSU Visitor Center on the corner of Main and Spring Streets near downtown Pullman.
Well, Steve Grubbs again, welcome you back. Cougar Basketball Hour with Kamie Ethridge. Again, just a little bit left to go in the show. We will have one final quick segment here at the end of things. But before we get into that, we've talked so much about your bench in the show here, and for good reason. They've been really, really good. But how about your two guards, both LA and AT, both plus 20 in both of these two games against both Santa Clara and Lamar? Your thoughts on what they've done. And again, two young players, a freshman and a sophomore in LA and AT, which bodes so well for the future of this program.
Well, again, AT got the brunt of it, believe me. Like when I bring up that thing about Kira, I mean, AT really did not play well against Cal. Mm-hmm. And it's not, I mean, it was unexpected. I thought we were prepared to go into that Cal game. And the point guard can never not be ready. And she got to listen and watch and see plays in that game that probably just stabbed her in the heart, which, again, we do all the time. I mean, we have to stab everybody in the heart all the time. And it starts with the coach getting stabbed in the heart because of what we don't do and what they don't know to do. But it was just, it's been such a transition for AT. Like, since we got back, her practice, her being on point, her leadership, her practicing unbelievably well, her putting herself in positions to make plays and have expectation and standards in our gym, and then she stepped on the court and done that in game time. So I give her so much credit for, taking a look at what she didn't do and understanding that if she doesn't do certain things, we can't win. And she's turned it on and been unbelievably great. And so I love that about her. But if I tell you something, don't tell anybody, okay? But we literally, every single time we have a good half, we go into halftime, and the last thing I tell them is, you suck. And you're terrible, and I don't know what you're going to do, but you better walk out on this court and play better. And so, and same thing after the game, because, and I know that's terrible, but it's like they can't handle success. I mean,
Right.
We almost can't handle a little success. We play great against Colorado, we feel good about ourselves, and then we go lay an egg against Cal. And why in the world? That was not me as a player. That's not my mindset. And so my team doing that drives me crazy. So now we just basically, celebrate, and then remind them, you're terrible, you're the worst player I've ever seen, and you better show up tomorrow, and we're going to kill you tomorrow at practice. And it seems to work. I hate it. I hate that we have to do it, and there they are. Those two are back there. They're terrible. Y'all tell them that when they walk out of here, and make sure when they walk into practice tomorrow at 6:15, they're not feeling too fat and happy, is what we say. Don't be fat and happy about what we did in that fourth quarter, because believe me, they can feel great about themselves out of that fourth quarter, and that fourth quarter will not help us win the first quarter of Toledo. The only thing that will help us win is our mindset, our competitiveness, our toughness, our energy, our fans, and our fans better be in it, and hopefully, we'll have a chance to prove ourselves over 40 minutes.
No doubt. We'll take one last break because we've got to fit one in, and then we'll come back and wrap things up in the final few minutes with Kamie Ethridge. It's your Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppo's from Learfield.
With the WSU debit card from Giza, it's hard to tell who's supporting who. When the Coug fans use their WSU card, they show off their Coug pride, and donations are made back to Cougar Athletics. But the card supports the Coug fan with big savings by helping them earn 7% APY with Smart Plus checking. So does the card support the Coug fan, or does the Coug fan support the card? It doesn't matter. All that matters is that the WSU card supports Cougar Athletics and your wallet at the same time. Get your WSU card at Giza.com.
Checking account transaction requirements, terms and conditions apply. Checking account annual percent yields range from 0.01 to 7% depending on balance. Minimum balance obtained APY ranges from $0 to $5,000.
Hampton in Pullman is just a short drive from the WSU campus. Centrally located to restaurants and shopping. They've got you covered for all your lodging needs. With their spacious rooms, famous Hampton waffles, a cozy outdoor patio, a gift shop for all your Cougar gear needs, and the friendliest staff in town to make you feel right at home. Visit HamptonByHilton.com to reserve a room for your next trip to the Palouse. Coug owned and Coug managed. It matters where you stay. Hampton in Pullman, Hilton for the stay.
When you're traveling on to Palouse, make sure you stop in Colfax. Colfax is home to great businesses like Pomeroy Grain Growers. For all your crop marketing needs, contact Brian or Eric. You're in good hands at Pomeroy Grain Growers. If you're considering assisted living needs, consider the Courtyard at Colfax, where it's always a wonderful way to live. And for all your gift-giving needs, Tick Clock Drug has the best selection on the Palouse.
Close, convenient, connected. The Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport and Alaska Air get you where you want to go. And with Alaska's One World Alliance, that's just about anywhere. With multiple flights to Seattle most days, plus one to Boise, that's another reason to use PUW to get you home. By the time you're winding your way through Washtenaw on 26 or Winchester on 95, you'll be in Seattle or Boise. Save on gas, higher parking fees, and your time. Fly PUW, the Pullman-Moscow Regional Airport, your Cougar and Alaska hometown airport.
Well, we welcome you back. Final few minutes of the show. Again, it is your Cougar Basketball Hour, the encore edition, the postseason edition. After the Cougars picked up their 20th win of the season on Sunday, 2 consecutive wins in the WBIT. And again, first and foremost, the Cougars are going to be home for a quarterfinal matchup, 6 o'clock Thursday night against Toledo. We need everybody at Beasley Coliseum. Come on out. We'll have it for you. 5:40 right here on News Talk for the Palouse. And again, 6 o'clock your tip-off time. Coach, only a few minutes left. But again, great crowd, great coach's show. I want to give you the floor here for a couple of minutes and just talk about the season and where we're at right now.
Well, I just said that my mom listens to this show, and she's going to be so mad that I just said that about my team and tell them that they – so, oh well. But I think we all get that. Like, again, I think, we're all – I'm old as dirt, and I'm coaching 18 to 22-year-olds, and you're just trying to get them to get over themselves and understand it's not about them and this big picture thing, but at the same time, they got to dig in deep to themselves and challenge themselves and make themselves grow and expect more of themselves and give more of themselves, things that they don't even think they can do, and just have loved coaching this team. Again, the mix of older players, the challenges that we've had to mixing in new players, the struggles that we've had, the injury that we had that could have devastated us and in some ways did, but it just made us grow up earlier. You know, we are now the team that we will be in the future. We're building those young players that are going to be our future. We're diving into recruiting and making strides in that area. So I just want to thank you guys for supporting our team so much. Thank you for being there. Thank you for giving so much of yourselves to our group. And just know that we're going to keep growing this program, and it's going to keep getting better and better. And the standard is so high, and we want to win at the highest levels. And we need your support, and we need Beasley filled. And just know you have our hearts, and you just keep coming and believe in us. And we're going to give you everything that we possibly can. And it starts with those 2 back there and my staff. And again, we're not giving up on going to Sweet 16s and Elite 8s. We want to be there at the very end. Right now they're playing. We want to be playing there and not having a radio show this time next year.
No doubt about that. We are also looking to try and punch a ticket to Indianapolis.
Yes, let's go. Let's finish this one out. Let's get to a Final Four. Let's go to Indy in a Final Four.
Thursday night, 6 o'clock. Thanks to everybody.
Thank you
folks
guys
here at Zeppos, the servers, the staff, the owners.
Learfield, everybody doing their business, their stuff.
Learfield, everybody, the 3Js. Thank you so much. Again, encore edition. Thank you so much,
All
Coach.
right.
It's been
Thanks,
fun.
Grubs. Go Cougs!
Go Cougs! That's it for us. It's been your Cougar Basketball Hour live from Zeppos from Learfield.
You've been listening to the Cougar Basketball Hour on the Washington